So here's a little story with a little life lesson in it. And it just concluded this evening, a couple hours ago. So going back, I moved into a rental apartment. And when I moved in, everything looked pretty good. But about like a month in, I noticed I Lysoled a door handle and all this spray kind of like, it looked like there was like gunk and dirt just started spilling down on the door that was existing. It was like, just the place was covered in like this filth. And I remember cleaning it because I'm neurotically clean. And so I cleaned all the white surfaces, the doors, the frames, and so on. And I lived there, didn't really think of it. I cleaned all the time, everything. I was a great tenant, so on. Now, fast forward to moving out. I moved out. He did a walkthrough of the apartment. He's like, "Oh, there's soot all over the walls." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I know that stuff." Yeah, he's like, "That wasn't there before." I'm like, "Oh my God, come on." So it was his word versus mine, and basically, I ended up trying to argue with him, being like, "No, it was there before," or so on. And then I was like, "I don't know. Do I take this to like a civil court? Or like, what do I do here? Because I want my security deposit back," and he wouldn't give it. So. It was strange because he's an awesome guy and he was really straightforward and cool the whole time and just lenient, just chill. So it was strange to me. So my girlfriend suggested I just talk to him, which was the third option. I would either court, argue, and give him the money, like the security deposit, and lose, which I kind of mentioned in another video. Like sometimes like you just get screwed. But she suggests I just talk to him. So before I did that, I scoured all my photos and videos, just looking for the month of November when I moved in and looking for anything to show it in the background or anything. And I found a lot. I found like 50 photos and a bunch of videos. And I have more probably for the whole duration that I lived there because obviously I do photos and video. So when I showed it to him, he was like, "Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, it's crazy." But he's like, "But I also remember being perfect." So I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So you believe me? He's like, "Yeah, yeah." And he was pretty cool about it all. However, there was part of the things that were my fault. Like I left a dirty tub and there was a fridge issue. I melted ice cream, whatever, my fault. So anyways, we came to a fair agreement on how to settle it, what he gave back and what I got back, and what he gave and what he got to keep. So the lesson here is there might be always a third way, a new way, which is kind of more admirable and respectful, where you can kind of find a compromise and talk to a person, treat people a little more human-like, or the situation as malleable for it to work for both parties. And even if there is somebody who refuses to go against their beliefs, sometimes, a little bit of hard proof goes a long way. But you don't have to be a jerk about it if you have the proof. You can still kind of find some compromise because in the end, if I left it a pristine, things absolutely zero things wrong, it's my fault that I just didn't have enough time to fix the tub and the fridge thing. But if I did, he would have most likely give me back the whole thing because he's a good dude. But that's the kind of little lesson. Like, one, track, keep record, and talk to people. So yeah, that was today's little fun adventure. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I feel like it was a good result, very fair. And I got to keep my character in check because it proved that I wasn't really a bad person, because that's important to me just as much as the money is my reputation. And for me, that's really, really important. And with talking with him, I got to keep that. I could sleep well at night. All right, that's it today. Cheers.